guys, this is Rachel from Blue Jane Creations, and I just wanted to come on super quick and do a fast overview of what I used specifically to make this prototype of the little mini pocket organizer, planner, whatever you want to call it. Since the video, I did find my eyelets and I added one, and then I had also gotten some book corners, these little metal book corners for the embellishments there, and also I think they are really good at protecting the corners. So I finished it off a little bit more. I'm not going to put too much detail into this unit. This is going to be the prototype. I'll show people at the craft show this weekend. If they're interested in purchasing one, they can flip, they have one to look at to see how it looks on the inside. And with the exception of the paper punch, this paper punch, and the pliers, and the paper that I used, everything else was purchased on Amazon. I will try to go through and find links for all of these stuff. The binder punch, the mushroom binder punch, I think is what it's called, and the binder discs, those are already linked. My friend Christine had asked about it. I think it was this morning. Yeah, it was this morning. Feels like a different day every time I come home from work. So that information is up. She had asked about the binder punch, but I went ahead and included the information for the binder discs. And to avoid any color coordinating issues, I just went with the clear with the heart in the middle. It's got little bits of glitter in there. Doesn't really show too much on the camera, but there is some glitter in there. And again, clear to me was the best choice because I didn't have to worry about matching it up with any of the colors. They'll just go with everything. So that's why I selected that, and it was a set of 120. So that means I have enough to make 30 binders in total for the upcoming show. So I've already got this set up to where I need this to be, to line up the paper to make sure that everything gets punched evenly. And the only thing I would say is be careful on the thickness of what you're using for the cover. It was almost too thick. I used, what would that be? It was the back panel of a empty paper pad, a 12 by 12 paper pad, and the cardboard was already thick. Then when I added the paper on the front and the back of that cover, it made it that much thicker and it almost didn't fit in the punch. So one thing to be aware of, there's only so much room down here where you're going to make your punch. So try to keep that in mind when you're selecting your materials for the cover. So because these are already linked, sorry if this is loud, I'm going to go ahead and just set these aside because I've kind of already covered those. If you're interested in getting some for yourself. Okay, so let me move this aside. So I added the eyelets, the corners, and I still am going to have to use tooling. It's the one thing I have that will work best. It'll be the least bulky in doing the closure on the booklets, or the little mini planner, whatever you want to call it. I'm calling them 5 different names, so I apologize. I'm trying to stick with calling them mini planners. We'll just do that. Mini planner, I'm using the tooling. And for all the scoring, this is the EK Tools scoreboard is what I used. And these are it was a set of 160 corners in different colors. You get 40 of each color. You get the copper, silver, a bronze, and gold. So, so those came in. This was purchased at Michael's. I think it was a bundle pack of jewelry tools, and I just used the flat pliers. You can see how flat that is for compressing the corner in place. So that's what I used to finish off the corners of the book. This is the eyelet set. This is the eyelet set I got. I believe this came from Amazon years and years ago. I used it for putting buttons, like if I had to replace the button fastener on my jeans or pants or something, this is what I got it for, but it works with the eyelets. So this multi-pack of eyelets also came from Amazon. So that's what I used for that to finish off and reinforce the hole where the closure goes. Because after time, of course, being paper, it's going to wear, so I'm trying to avoid that. This is I used the 1.5 inch or 3.81 centimeter diameter paper punch to make the little indentation where you can pull the pages out of the pocket. I'm sure there's a technical name for that, but I'm not pulling it up, and my little mental dictionary is not functioning. But you see here, you know what I'm saying, that little where you can take your thing in and out of the pocket. So this is what I used to make all of them on the paper. And this was purchased at Michael's. You can tell that's their Recollections brand. This is the glue that I used. Again, I was primarily using, where did I put it? I used the double-sided tape, and I had a roll sitting right here to show you. And okay, here it is. So to close the pockets, to avoid any issues where like any globs of glue would show up under the paper when it dried, I wanted to use the thinnest 1/4 inch double-sided tape. So that's what I used for the pockets. But on the cover, the pages were starting to peel up. I didn't have enough tape in some spots, and I just used this glue. This is the Art Glitter Glue, to tack it down in place while I waited to get the little corner things, corner embellishments or whatever you call it. So this was also purchased on Amazon. And this was the paper that I used. I went with the version where you use the 8x8 paper pad, which I believe was the one that was showcased in that video that I linked. It was purchased at Hunky Dory. It's their Butterflies collection, and this is more of a glossy paper. I think all the rest of the paper I'm using for the ones to go to the craft show, those are all in a matte paper. It doesn't matter, I don't think, but this is what I happen to use for the prototype. So, but I wanted, in case you were interested, this is where I got it. I don't know if this is still available at Hunky Dory, but obviously go check out their website. If they don't have this specifically, I feel pretty sure with all the stuff they have, you can find something comparable if this specific pad is discontinued. And they always have fantastic sales going on, so definitely take advantage of that, of course. So that is the paper that I used. And I think that covers all the main components. I apologize if I'm forgetting anything. In the meantime, take care, you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching and hanging in there and hanging out. And I definitely look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.